So welcome everybody. I think everybody's in now. Yeah. Oh, Sam's gone out. Entered again. Okay. Welcome everybody to this communication workshop tonight session. I think most of you do know me by now. I'm Sue Whitehead, one of the tutor assessors for DiSE. I won't do any more than that intro because I was on the previous careers one with you. So welcome to this one. Hopefully we will be done and dusted within the hour. And I have got a few tasks for you to do, and it is quite an interactive session tonight. So you will probably, let me just admit Ruby, you will at some point, if you don't mind putting your cameras on. You don't have to do that now and for all the session, but at some point when it's needed, if you will put your cameras on, okay, because you will need, it is quite an interactive one, an interactive session, okay. So we are going to be looking at communication, and it's unit 15 and 16, so understanding communication and teamwork effectively to achieve excellence in sport, okay. So aims and objectives of tonight's session: to understand the importance of communication to achieve excellence in sports. And we are looking at you completing the tabs in your workbook, C1, C2, C3 and C6 after tonight's session. So you should all have received your workbooks. They were sent to you today, the communication workbook. So they were sent to you today. If anybody hasn't got or received that, if they can just post that in the chat, and hopefully either John or Joelle will just let me know, because I can't see the chats at the minute. Okay. So we're going to be looking at defining the different types of feedback, outline and practice how to give effective feedback, highlight potential conflicts athletes may encounter and practice resolving some situations, and then we're going to identify good practice on social media. So that's the objectives for the workshop, the session tonight. So hopefully we should get to that by the end. We should have achieved those objectives by the end. Okay, so let me just admit Jack. Hi, Jack. So in the chat box, this is just a couple of icebreakers for us tonight to get you all in the swing of things. So in the chat box, I want you to start a list of 10 things that you think you all have in common. So you might need to unmute and maybe just say a few things, and if everybody can either agree or disagree. So we're looking for 10 things that you've all got in common. Okay, so if you just start posting those in the chat box. So screen's gone off now and I'm just having a look here. Handball. So hopefully that's everybody. We're all in year 12. Yeah. If you want to put your cameras on and give us a thumbs up, maybe. Or give us a thumbs up using the little icons at the bottom, the reactions, yeah. So I should see lots of thumbs going up. We're all, handball is one, yeah. We're all in year 12, yeah. Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs up. We've got play handball, so that's 2. So we've got handball, year 12. All on the DiSE programme, yeah, that's a must. That's a given. There's 3. Are we all in education? Thumbs up if everybody's in education. Is anybody working on an apprenticeship or anything like that? Thumbs up, all in education. We've already had playing handball. We're all under 18. Come on, I want to see more thumbs up. Should all be listening and giving us a thumbs up. Those of you that have joined us that are second years, obviously these might not apply to you. The under 18s, yeah. We're all human beings, yeah, I think so. So I'll give you that one. Didn't do GCSEs. I don't think that's would be across the board, would it? I would have thought we all did do GCSEs. Did we? All did GCSEs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we're on. Okay, Luke, I'll let you have that because I think you are. You're all absolute legends in your own lunchtime, yeah? We all live in England. Yeah. We all live in England. Do we? We haven't got any, is that correct? Yeah? Everybody listening? A few thumbs up. If you don't give me the thumbs up, I'm not sure that you're actually taking part in this. Good, good. We all had to experience a pandemic. Yeah. And we're all experiencing it still. Yeah, thumbs up. So I've got handball, year 12. 1, 2, 3 DiSE. 4 under 18, 5 human beings. All did GCSEs, 6, legends, 7. We all live in England, 8. We're all experiencing a pandemic, 9. GCSEs were cancelled. Oh, right. So you didn't do GCSEs. So that was Alice was right. I got it wrong. I misinterpreted what you were saying. So you didn't do GCSEs for the first time. Yeah. So that's what you've got in common. So we need one more thing. One more thing that you all have in common. All incredible athletes. We're all on a Zoom call. Okay, I'll have those two. So we reached our 10, 11. Well done. Okay, thanks for that. And next, I'm just going back now to my right, so the next one is I would like you all, if you can, to grab any item that's handy and that's unique to you. So if there's something that's close that you don't need to leave the room to get, then great. If anybody needs to leave and go and grab something, you've got like 30 seconds to do that. And then what I'd like you to do is I'd like 2 boys, 2 girls to volunteer to tell us about your item. So I'd like you to put your cameras on, show us what your item is and tell us about it. Okay. So who's volunteering? 2 boys, 2 girls. If you don't volunteer, oh right, okay. Cameron, you've got a Hoover head you've put in there.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit different.
Right. So is that personal to you?
I don't know. It's just like I've got to clean my room, so I guess it's a bit personal.
So are you happy to tell us about it? Show, uh,
Tell my Hoover head.
put your video on and show us.
Here we go.
Where's Cameron? Can everybody see Cameron? I can't. Oh, there's Cameron. Can everybody see Cameron? Right,
I'm the
so
Hoover head.
so you've got 30 seconds to tell us all about that Hoover head.
Where it was, my mum put it in my room because she got fed up. I haven't hoovered it for a little while, and I was having a bit of a sort out, so I thought it was a good time to do it. And it's just stayed in my room for about a week, so I've kind of got to get on and hoover it.
Is there anything specific about that Hoover head that you can tell us? What brand it is? What colour is it?
It's Dyson. It's got like a purple roller in it. It's got a little red clip, so I can change it out for a bigger one or a smaller one. And it needs a bit of a clean, to be fair. It's got a bit of hair in it.
Okay. Anything else about it?
It's moved house with us when we moved house. It came with us, so it's
Okay.
been on a journey.
Right. Okay. So we're giving some scores here. We've got Mikel has given us 9 out of 10 for the Hoover head. So I've got the same, Luke. He's got Hoover head. Have we got anybody else who hasn't got a Hoover, who's got something a little bit more personal? So well done, Cameron. Thank you for that. Any other volunteers? Any of the girls? Let's forget the Hoover head now. We don't need any more comments about the Hoover head. So Luke, have you got something that you want to share with us?
Yeah.
Okay, Luke, off you go. Hold it up. What is it?
It's a bin,
It's a bin.
but it's a lion as well. So like, say you've got a piece of paper, so you want to put it in the bin, just like, and it opens up, and then it's a quality bin. You know, it's a lion. He's always been there for me, helping me out. Just a quality bin, really. It's quite big, can fit a lot in it. But yeah, it's just a solid bin, really. But it's very personal because it's my special lion bin that no one else uses. It's my personal bin.
Okay, thanks for that, Luke. Any of the girls want to share what they've got? Abigail, do you want to tell us about your lanyard? Come on screen if you can. Okay.
I have my lanyard that I use for college. So I'm at Loughborough, so I have my lanyard on me at all times. So it can
tell us about it. What colour is it? What's writings on it?
It's a green lanyard with the Loughborough College on it, and then on the end it's got my photo and my ID, and then I've got my keys as well.
Right. Okay, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. Emily, you can go next.
I have a cat. That's all I can really find.
Right. Okay. So tell us all about your cat.
I don't really know. She's just, she's really young and she just scratches a lot. That's all I can really say.
Has she got a name?
Amazing.
Is it?
Yeah.
How long have you had her?
Not that long, like a month, 2 months.
Okay, so she's a bit more than a kitten.
Yeah.
Still scratchy, yeah.
Mhm.
And how did you get her? How come you got a cat?
Mum was begging for one, so we just got one.
Where did you get her from?
From Birmingham. Just from this woman that was online, like a shelter.
Okay. All right, thanks for that. All right, everybody, thank you for that. bit of show and tell, going back to our primary school days there, how I need to communicate with others, yeah? Bit of description. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to sharing my screen again now. We'll be moving on. So thanks for that. Right, so what I want you to do now is you are asked to get your handball and a blindfold, so a scarf or something like that that you can use as a blindfold. And what I want you to do, and if for those of you that don't mind and are willing to do it, put your cameras on, and whilst you're sitting down, I want you to turn sideways so that we can see you sideways on the camera. And I want you, you're all going to do this. I want you to throw your handball in the air 3 times and catch it whilst you turn sideways. Then you're going to repeat that using one hand only. And then you're going to put the blindfold on and you're going to repeat that using one hand only. So I want you to all do that now. If you don't mind putting your cameras on, that's great. If there's anybody who doesn't want to really doesn't want to put the camera on, that's fine too. But I would like you to try this. So you're just going to turn sideways onto the camera, throw your handball in the air 3 times and catch it. Yeah. And then you're going to repeat that using one hand. Yeah. And then put your blindfolds on. And then you're going to repeat the throwing the ball with just using one hand, yeah, and catching it. So just do that 3 times. Okay, perfect. Right, so what I want you to do now, we would like, what I want you to do is think about when you were doing each one of those tasks. So throwing the ball up with in front of you and catching it. I didn't say catch with 2 hand or 1 hand to start with. Then we did it with 1 hand, then we did it with the blindfold. So I want you to think about how it actually felt when you were doing each one of those, what you did. I asked you all to sit down. So just go over in your mind how it felt when you did it with both hands, when you did it with 1 hand, and when you put the blindfold on. Okay, and try and just remember those thoughts, what it actually felt like to you doing those. Right, now next I would like 1 volunteer to demo for everybody. So they'll be on screen, everybody else is looking, and you're just going to repeat what you did. And those people that are observing, I would like you on a piece of note paper, is just jot down 3 things that you notice about the person that you're watching. So we're all going to be watching the same person, but you're going to actually jot down 3 things that you see, that you notice about that person when they're doing those actions, yeah? So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay, and I would like 1 volunteer. So just pop your name in the chat if you're happy to do that. Anybody? Any takers? You literally, all I want you to do is just to repeat what you did. So if I have no volunteers, I will pick somebody. Nobody's posted in the chat that they want to do it. have a look. Who have we got? No volunteer? Oh, there's an echo there.
Sorry, Sue, that's me.
Okay. So let's go with Sam Dowling. Are you going to put your camera on, Sam? Sam, are you there? Oh, he doesn't have one. Right, okay, never mind. Right, so I'll pick somebody that's already got the camera on. Cal Brandeth.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, Cal, so are you happy to do this for us?
I'll give it a go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can everybody see Cal? Just adjust your camera a little bit, or take a little move your seat further back.
Just like putting up
if you
here,
can.
sort of thing.
We just need to be able to see you.
I don't really have the room.
Oh, right. Shall I pick somebody else?
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, that'll be right, yeah.
Right, who can I see? Look, right, Ned. You look like you've got a bit more room.
I mean, yeah, I've got a little bit of room.
Right, so
what do I need to do? 2 hands, then 1 hand, and
so 2 hands, 1 hand, and then with the blindfold on, and then everybody else watching, you're just gonna notice what he actually. 3 things about what he does.
Do I need to do the 1 hand with the blindfold or 2?
Yes.
Or both?
1 hand.
All right. Let me get this for 1 second. This is. Does that count?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Did it.
Okay. So you all should have made a few notes there about each one. So you notice 3 things about what he was doing for each one. Yeah. Okay. So make your notes. Okay. So we're looking now intrinsic and extrinsic feedback. So that's what the task was about. So what I want you to do is in the chat box now, is you're going to write the sources of intrinsic feedback from that was what you actually felt from inside your body when you were doing that activity, those tasks, yeah. And then the 3 things that you notice. So we'll just start off with everybody just putting something about how they actually felt when they were doing each one of those. What you felt inside your body. So post those in the chat. So the intrinsic feedback is what your body was telling you. What messages were you getting? How did it make you feel? Okay, yes, we've got there. Not confident, I suppose, Ben, was that you? Unconfident. A lot harder with the blindfold, you felt unsure. unaware with the blindfold, uncertain, uncomfortable, hesitant. What were you doing with your hands, with your feet, with your elbows? More as limited something, the more. Some really good answers here. The more I was limited something, the more my body told me to work harder. Yeah, harder with the blindfold, so you were concentrating more because you couldn't rely on your vision. Judging the height of the ball, Matt. Yeah, I felt like I knew where the ball was, but I didn't trust myself, Luke. Tried to simplify it, right? So making it easy for yourself there. Mick, with the blindfold on, yeah? Kept your body more steady and still to help catch the ball, yeah? What was your elbow doing? Your wrist at any point? Your fingers? Did you actually think about anything like that? Okay, so this is all about making you think about how you're feeling. Maybe when you're going up to take a jump shot, for example, related to handball now, going up to take a jump shot, how it makes you feel when maybe the goal goes in, everything was right. Maybe you were at the right height. When you release the ball, you use your wrist. Yeah, so all those kind of things. When is actions and intrinsic feedback to you that your body tells you, that's the feedback that you get yourself. Okay, now somebody said there it felt really tense, memorizing the movement to get used to it. Yeah, all really, really good feedback here from everybody. Okay, now thinking about the second task where you were observing and you were watching. Okay, it wasn't it's not the same as us being in a room face to face where we can see close to what he was doing. But if you can just start posting some of the things that you noticed, yeah, whilst you were looking at what who was it? Matt? Was it Matt? Want it? No. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? That Cameron was. No, it wasn't Cameron. Who was who?
Oh, it was me.
Oh, Ned. Yeah, yeah. What Ned was doing. So start just popping in the chat box some of the things that you observed now. Okay. So this is the extrinsic feedback. This is what we term extrinsic feedback, when you are watching something and you give feedback to somebody else. So this might be the feedback that your coach would give to you when they're watching an action that you're taking. Maybe a defending action, you're not quite balanced, and they're going to give you some feedback on that. So when the blindfold was on, you could tell he was doubting himself more power, confidence in the throws, came a little less confident, sure, and so when he dropped it, without the blindfold, he's watching the ball. Yeah, so you could see him using his eyes, yeah, all the way into his hands, so his eyes are going up and down, yeah, good. Did practice shadow throws when the blindfold was on, but not when it was off. Got better as he went on, yeah, so yeah, more practice there. So he improved there. It looks weird with a blindfold, does he? Okay, so some good feedback there. So are you all getting the gist of where we're going with this? The intrinsic and extrinsic feedback? That's right, because he couldn't see the ball. He couldn't judge where the ball was going to land, so couldn't adjust his hand, yeah? Thanks, Matt. Okay, I'm just going back to sharing my screen now. Okay, so we've got the two types there that we've said, the extrinsic is provided by external sources during or after a performance. It can come from teachers, coaches, teammates, and also includes things that the performer can hear or see. Okay, so things that you as a performer can see and hear is also an example of extrinsic feedback. Intrinsic feedback. So again, this is all to do with communication. So the information received by you as an athlete as a direct result of producing a movement through the kinesthetic senses and feelings from muscles, joints, and balance. Okay, right, so in your workbooks on CM1, you are asked to give examples from within your own sport and explain the two different types of feedback that an athlete can provide. Okay, so have you all got your workbooks open, or have you got a notebook that you can make some notes to put in this section on your workbook? Okay, so you can make some notes now on what you should be putting in here, and you can think of maybe some examples relating to handball and maybe your own position that you play, where you would get intrinsic and extrinsic feedback. So this is CM1 that you need to complete. I'm not going to ask you now to complete it all, but I do want you to make some notes either in a notepad or just put some notes now on your workbook for you to complete it in full later. Okay. So now we're looking at feedback sandwich. So this is where we get positive feedback to start with, yeah, and then constructive feedback that we don't always like. We're not always great at taking constructive feedback, and then positive feedback again. Okay. So I'm just going to give you some, click on some YouTube videos here now for you to just watch. So examples of feedback.
It's not showing through. Sorry, Sue. They are not seeing the video.
Not seeing it?
No.
Uh,
I think you need to open the video and then share again your screen with the YouTube.
So sorry, a bit of a technical hitch there. I'm not sure what I'm not really sure what. So can nobody see that?
No.
Right, so I'm not sure what do I need to do?
So what I was saying is try to open the YouTube video and then after it opens, stop it and then try to share your screen, and when all the windows appear, choose the YouTube window where you have the video.
Right. Okay, I think I've got that. pitch here now. Is everybody seeing that now?
Still don't.
No.
Nope.
Oh, where's right? Has everybody gone? I can only see you, Joel.
They are. I can see all of them. Good suggestion that Miles is saying. I did
right.
this with them in the EPA, so share the link on the chat box and they can open on the
Yeah.
their own
Right.
laptops.
Right. Let me just go. Oh, maybe I can. Oh, there. That's right. I've got it now.
Yeah,
Can you
okay.
see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now okay.
Sorry, guys. We were looking at the other one anyway. Right. That's it. Let me just go back. Sorry, guys.
We can't hear it, Sue.
Okay, I will just stop sharing that now. And I will go back to where we're up to. I think. Need to go back to, here we go. Okay, so you saw some examples there of a bad coach in action and a good coach with regards to feedback. So as part of your workbook now, we would like you to complete CM2. Again, I'm not expecting you to do that right this second and give you time now, because I just want to get to the end of tonight's presentation, and then hopefully you can carry on and complete this. You have got until the 2nd of December, okay? So we're looking here at constructive feedback and you identifying a situation within handball where you've faced constructive feedback, positive or negative. So you can have both positive and negative constructive feedback, okay? So think and identify a situation where you can give an example of this here, and you just need to give a few sentences and tell us about this situation. And then we want you to explain the reasons why providing constructive feedback in the following ways is important, and give an example for each. So why you think praise and acknowledging somebody's strengths is good constructive feedback, and if you can give an example. And then when constructive feedback would be important for areas for you to develop as an athlete, and again giving some examples in each of these. And then also when encouragement is needed and used, yeah, for constructive feedback, and again give an example of each of those. So you just need to complete and fill in those boxes based on, we're talking about feedback. Yeah, everybody happy with that? If anybody doesn't understand or got any questions, then if you can just post in the chat box. Okay. So we're going to move on now to conflicts within sport, and I've got another video for you to for us to watch. Let me just check on the time. What I might do with this one now is this will be posted out to you, and you'll be able to click on this link and see it yourself, okay? Rather than taking up your time now, I can make sure this gets sent out to you, the links, all right? In fact, I'll post, let me see if I can post the link now. I'm not sure how to do that. But we're starting thinking about conflicts and examples within our own sport, okay? So, conflicts in handball. There's some examples here of conflicts. This is at a hockey match here, and then this looks like this is at a football match. Can you, in the chat box, provide any examples of where you might have experienced or seen any conflicts in handball. So just post in the group now, please. Any examples or experiences when you're losing? Yeah. Warrington v Trafford always gets heated. When the referee makes a bad call, yeah. Between referees and coaches, bad decisions, yep. When a player gets frustrated with the referee as they disagree with their decision. Some good answers here. Negative response to a yellow card, yeah. Between players when one makes a bad foul, yeah. Between players, so between coaches, referees, players, referees, between players themselves. When teams are known rivals, yeah, there's always a little bit of conflict. Hopefully it's competitive. When different teams, when the game gets heated. Yeah. Some good answers here between goalkeepers and players, yeah. So your teammates, there can be conflicts with your own teammates, okay. Yeah, some great answers there. Great responses. So that's brilliant. Let's see. Okay. So you're all getting the gist there with experiencing conflict in handball. And we've provided some examples. Okay. So in the chat box, for each of these posts, for each of these scenarios below, what I'd like you to do is post some things that you might see if you that you might say if you were on the receiving end. Okay, so you're on the receiving end of each of these scenarios, so I'd like you to think about it, and then in the chat box I want you to post some of the things that you might say. So your coach isn't happy with your performance due to a poor attitude, you've been missing training, and you've been going out on nights out with your mates. So your coach is having a word with you and he's not very happy with your performance. So what sort of things might you say to defend yourself or in your defence? Let's have a look what we've got. That's fair enough from the coach. Apologise and tell the coach that it won't happen again, and perhaps you're going to explain the situation if there is one. Apologise because you'd be in the wrong. Explain to the coach why you haven't been there. Can't really defend yourself when you're in the wrong. Yes, yeah, but you can apologise, can't you? And say that you're maybe going to try and improve your attitude, etc. Tell the coach you're going to improve. Good, yeah, Jake. It was for a special occasion, was it? And explain it. Maybe your coach won't quite get that. He's not just going to have a go at you if it was just maybe one night out. Tell them you'll change your attitude. Yeah, apologise and maybe tackle the problem. See if there's a more serious reason causing the yeah, okay, well done. Thanks for that. It's good answers there. I keep going back to the wrong one. Okay, so the next one, some of you might be lucky enough to have a kit sponsor and they are considering removing funding due to negative social media actions. So how would you defend yourself there? Oops, I've gone wrong again. So did you get that one? Apologise or just take the hit if you did something really wrong that really reflect badly on a sponsor, yeah? Ask them to explain what the actions were and say you won't do it again. Maybe you were just completely ignorant to what you'd done. It could be, yeah, that you need a bit more education on social media. Yeah, ask them to explain what the actions were. Okay, so the next one that was on my list, I will delete, learn and issue a public apology. Yeah, good. So if you're in a position where you can actually delete what it was that you've posted, learn from it and then, yeah, apologise. Revalidate your social media. Yeah, all good answers here. Okay, so looking at the next one now. So this one's about your parents and they're considering not paying for you to go on tour due to poor academic results and reports. So what would you say here? What would you say to your parents? Get a part-time job to help. Maybe apologise and work harder at school, yeah? Explain it's your dream. Tell them that you'll try your hardest to improve and that you'll try and help to pay or get extra tuition in, better grades and a job to find it myself. Ask how you can redeem yourself, yeah, talk it through, apologise and tell them do better next time. Do the chores. Some good answers here. Yeah, and hopefully you'll learn from it and you'll try not to repeat that in the future. And then the last one is with your teammates. So you've got a teammate who's jealous that you've been taken, is jealous that you've taken their place for the final. So you got through to the final and you've taken the place of your teammate and he's jealous. So he's a little bit upset. Maybe he's, it depends on the person, whether there'd be attitude would change towards you. So how and what could you say to make him feel better, her feel better? So that there wasn't that situation between you, so it wasn't awkward. Say they're a super sub. That might not go down too well. Boost their confidence, yeah. Good, Ruby. Explain how you grafted for the position and offer them help to, yeah, brilliant, Emily. And try and help them to improve their confidence, yeah. That you're all, you know, you're all competing for positions and you're all going to work as hard as you can. Try not to make them feel worse, yeah, good, Abby. Explain that there's always a next time, yeah. Explain to them this is what can happen in, yeah. Alice, good. Just comfort them and tell them that you're a good player and they're worthy, but this time you deserved it, yeah. Be there for them, yeah. This time it's me, next time it might be you. Let's work harder together as a team. Make it a reason for them to work harder, yeah. Brilliant answers here, yeah. So you're addressing the conflict, but you know, you don't want to make the situation worse, and you want to boost the confidence of them, teach them that hard work pays off. Yeah, okay, thanks for that. Okay, so we've done this. So how should you deal with problems? Okay, so dealing with conflict. So you can either avoid it, you can be one of those people that actually avoids conflict, okay, by delaying or ignoring it maybe. You can force it. So this is where you'd agree with one party's viewpoint and maybe enforce their wishes. This is a bit of a win-lose type situation. You can look to compromise. So this is where you're attempting to actually resolve a conflict by identifying a solution that might be partially satisfactory to both parties, but not necessarily completely satisfactory to either. Okay, you can also collaborate. Yeah, so this is where you're cooperating with the other party to understand their concerns and express your own concerns in an effort to find a mutually and completely satisfactory solution. So that's the win-win situation. Okay, and then accommodate is allowing the other party to satisfy their concerns while maybe neglecting your own. Okay, so there's different ways of dealing with conflict. How do you think you should deal with the problems? Which would be the best way of dealing with it? Any ideas? Do you want to post what you think might be the best way of dealing with it? Best outcome for everybody? Yeah, Alice, collaborate. Emily, collaborate. Yeah, so that's the win-win situation, isn't it? Mixture of collaborate and compromise, yeah. You might have to do that, Alice, because you might not always get to the win-win situation. That's what you're aiming for, I think, where both parties. Okay, thanks for that. Okay, so fostering a professional attitude. So how can you avoid conflict? So this is all ways now. Just bear with me 1 minute, sorry. So where you're identifying examples of positive behaviour that can impact on developing a good working relationship. So your body language will say a lot about you, yeah? If you're trying to avoid conflicts, because, you know, conflict is stressful, so we are going to try and avoid that. So your body language, the vocabulary that you use, listening to people, yeah, being team orientated. Are you helpful? Are you working with other people for an ultimate goal? The way that you would honour commitments, yeah. So live up to and honour commitments, and then your written skills. It is making sure that you have a professional attitude there in what you write to people, and it doesn't cause conflict. Okay. So then in CM3, this is all about working relationships. So this is the tab that you need to complete that is about working relationships. So that's relationships with all of those people that we've just talked about. So your teammates, your coaches, officials, your tutors, your parents, where you want to not avoid conflict, because conflict is a part of life, but how you deal with it better. Yeah, we want you to, on this section of the workbook, is look at possible problems of conflicts that you might have been involved in, might have experienced, and how you dealt with them. Okay, and then how you can explain how you have good working relationships with, where it says here your work colleagues, yeah, this means everybody that you're working with, as in your teammates, your work colleagues, your teammates, yeah. So that's CM3, that's part of what you're doing. Now we're going to just have a quick look at social media. Okay, so in the chat box, what I'd like you to do is, we're looking at do's and don'ts on social media. So how athletes should behave on social media. Okay, So in the chat box, just throw a few things in there, write in a few things of do's and don'ts. So start off with do's, what you think you should do on social media. Okay. Let's see what we've got there. Don't be controversial. Act responsibly because they represent a club or organisation. Act professionally. Yeah, all good. So things that you're posting on social media, don't be reckless. Don't troll. Flex. Behave appropriately because you never know if there are sponsors and you should be a role model. Yeah. Don't know who's reading your post. Don't offend people. Yeah. Okay, all good. Thanks for that. Some great answers there, some great responses. Okay. How athletes should behave on social media, that's what you've just done, some do's and don'ts, what the benefits will be of doing so, and do you currently follow any good examples? So in the chat, can you post anybody who you follow, who you think are good examples on social media? Joe Nelson, are you a good one to follow? Or is Joe a good one to follow? Anybody else? Any positive role models that you follow on social media? Is that it? Nobody else? Nobody's got any good examples? Marcus Rashford. Yeah. Good one there, Alice. Not least because he's a local boy. LeBron James, yeah. Anybody else? Any females? Mikkel Hansen, I'm assuming that meant. Anybody from Loughborough College? DiSE? Michelle Obama? These people that you follow on social media? Okay, thanks for that. Some good examples there. Tess Wester. That's Becky Sue. That's me. Hey, hey. Thanks, John. Anybody else that that's great. Okay. So we've got a few examples here. Some you might recognise, some you might not.
God knows.
Okay. So we've got Andre Gray, £25,000 fine and a 4-match ban. We've got Mikel Morganella, sent home to the 2012 Olympics. I'm not quite sure why. We've got Rio Ferdinand, who received a £45,000 fine. We have got Stephanie Rice, who lost a sponsorship with Jaguar and had to give back her car. And Papa Christo, Greek Olympic athlete, was banned from going to the 2012 Olympics. Okay, so some good practice for social media is, so these are our do's. Share your sports performances and your achievements. Remember that everyone can see you. Show your personality. Be honest and report anything that concerns you. These are some things that you should not do, some don'ts. So don't link to any unsuitable content and don't post links to unsuitable content. Don't talk negatively about other competitors, countries, organisations or brands. And don't forget that your rivals could be reading what you're writing. Yeah. Don't give out any personal information or encourage a user to do that either. So some things for you to think about. So lastly is completing CM6. Okay, so on CM6, this is a bit of a fake social media page, if you like. And on this page, we want you to complete it, yeah, and it is an interactive page, so there are some hints when you come to this. There are some pictures at the bottom that you can insert, so the idea is that you will insert the most appropriate pictures for you being an athlete, an elite athlete, okay? Then post on your timeline. It gives you some examples of things that you might want to post. And then in each of the About Me, there's a drop-down box in each one of suggested things like types of things that you would put or that you should put. And then in your hobbies and interests, again, there's some suggestions when you come to put in each of the yellow lines. Yeah, so make sure those yellow areas, you're going to put 3 things about yourself, 3 hobbies and interests. And then your friends' requests here, think about the type of friend request that you're accepting. Okay, so that is CM6, and it's about you starting to think about and manage your social media, because it can be very positive for you using your social media in the correct way. Okay, can be a really positive thing for you to do. And I'm sure you know, there's different ways that you use your social media now. If you want to post in the chat box all the forms of social media that you actually use currently, we'll just have a look there, because obviously things that that I might use, that Joelle might use, and John, you might not use, you know, as sort of as one of your predominant uses of social media. Okay, so just in the chat box, Instagram, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. So they're all obviously the most popular ones now with people of your age. So I'm not seeing Facebook at all there, which is probably one that I use quite a lot. And Instagram, I do like Instagram, but Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, yeah. TikTok. So think about the things that you're posting and your profile that you know that you fill out on each of these for Pinterest. Okay, maybe start thinking about other you know, creating maybe a LinkedIn for future. Yeah, might be good. Another good form of well, of getting yourself out there and creating a LinkedIn post for yourself, which you will going forward professionally, I'm sure. Get a LinkedIn page set up, a LinkedIn profile. Okay, so thanks for that. That is everything now on the actual PowerPoint presentation. So I am going to let you all go now. I've kept you longer than I do tend to ramble on, and I'm not time management is something I need to work on, because I did say we would be finished hopefully within the hour. This will be posted on the YouTube channel, and you will get this PowerPoint presentation, as well as you've all got your workbooks. If you've got any questions at all on C1, CM1, CM2, CM3 and CM6 is what we're asking you to complete by the 2nd of December. Okay, and if you've got any questions, then just send those through to your tutors, to your tutor, who you, second years you know who yours are, and first years you know who your tutor assessor is. So if you've got any questions at all, then you can fire those questions, and or if you're stuck with anything, you don't understand anything. Okay, I do want to thank you for joining in tonight. It's been really interactive. I hope you've enjoyed it and you've got something out of it. You will be able to complete your workbooks from the information that we've shared, and it has got you thinking about the topic of communication, which you can't avoid. Okay, it's something that's going to touch every part of DiSE is communication. Okay, so thanks for that. Thanks for Joelle for joining, and John, if you want to add anything there, Joelle and John.
Everything okay, just add something about social media that you said about LinkedIn. So it's an important tool nowadays, and I can see even more on our way, how in sports that some athletes, some coaches develop a big link and a big net of connections, and that can be useful for them as wanting to be professional players towards handball. Can be a good way to start and to show themselves to the world.
Okay, thanks for that, Joel. Okay, thanks everybody. Off you go and enjoy the rest of your evening, and I shall see you all soon. Thanks. Bye.